Welcome back, everyone. Today we have a updated Imperialdramon deck profile for you guys. I love Imperialdramon. I'm really happy that it's gotten support. This deck has gone from more aggro to an aggro control. Now with that, let's begin. So we are still playing 4 eggs. This is still the best draw egg to play in that deck because when you attack once per turn, if this Digimon has jamming, trigger, draw 1. You still do the old combo where you evolve into the XVmon with jamming, swing, draw 1, then you play something, and then DNA into it, which then resets this effect so you draw again. So that is still the best. All right, next we have our rookies. We have the new Vmon and the new Wormmon, which are really important pieces. They have essentially the same effect where end of turn, this Digimon and one of your other Digimon in play may DNA into a Digimon card in your hand for the cost. So now, instead of having to go ahead and set your stuff up and then DNA on your turn, like the old deck, we did have the old Wormmon, but you really didn't have anything that you want to end your board on your opponent's turn. We do have that now. But these are also searcher cards, so we got rid of the old searcher Vmons for these. So reveal top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 card with Imperialdramon or the free trait, and 1 card with Davis Motomiya in its name. So that means you can grab Davis and Ken because Davis Motomiya and Ken Ichijoji are fully spelled out. Same with Wormmon, it says 1 Tamer with Ken Ichijoji in its name. So you can grab Davis and Ken, which is why we can also reduce those numbers. Next, the last Vmon I have is the other searcher one. I really do still need the name Vmon, so we can, evolve Lydramon for cheaper, and, play top 3, add a free attribute. So I played this one over the dual color one because I really need to search for the champion, the earlier pieces, a lot more than I do for the later one, because once you have the earlier pieces out, you can start drawing like crazy, which is why it's more important. Plus, if you grab a Vmon, you can search a Vmon, which then, keep on searching. While the BT8 one can grab Davis and Ken, which these new rookies can do as well. So isn't necessary. The only thing you're really giving up is being able to search for like your option, like your Megadeth. Next, we have for the best champion to go into. So you still want to evolve it, and it can evolve on Wormmon because it can still evolve off a green. Swing, draw 1, and then, of course, it gets jamming. We do play 3 of the new XVmon. It's not as great because I'm not ever risking this. So if I did evolve it out in the first turn in the back and then move it up, I'm not risking it to swing because it is a 4K. It's really weak, but it does also give jamming. And then when it would DNA into green Digimon where all your ultimates are green and blue, so you're going to gain that memory. Sometimes it's nice, not really necessary unless you're expecting the turn to pass back to you. I was originally not playing Lydramons, but after playtesting, I realized I really needed the dual color just to have that option. So when I was playing with the new Stingmon, etc., trying it out, I always ended up with like one color or the other and missing something. So Lydramon was the fix for that. And you can still evolve on Wormmon, except it costs 3. This is the reason why I play the other Vmon. Otherwise, I would be throwing in stuff like Madoki Betamons right now, where, our meta is Shoutmons, or Hunter, basically, and Beelzemon, where they gain a bunch of memory. So I really would like to stop them from being able to do that. Or I can, try to go for more control on my end, where I can evolve something, suspend, swing into it, and then give them this target out on the field. If they did try to get rid of it, it still has armor purge, so it still has a protection, and then they'd have to get rid of the rookie as well. Otherwise, I just have to play something else and then can DNA. I am playing the old Stingmon. I prefer this one over the new one because the new one is also a 4 cost to play, and it gains a memory, which is essentially 3. While this one, if you have a blue Digimon, you basically play it for 3. So if that's the case, you're basically just comparing inherit effects. The situation usually ends up the same, whether you DNA at the end of your turn, unless you're expecting the turn to pass back. So I rather have this one so for the draw, because this is not a once per turn draw, and when I do multi-attack with Imperialdramon, etc., I do like drawing the extra cards because you never know what you're missing, and because, you know, I really do want to see more dragon modes. I really want to see the other stuff, and because of this, I can, you know, play some cards at 3 rather than having to fully max it out, so I actually make more room because I play a better draw engine. And then, of course, we have 4 of the best Imperialdramon, where when you DNA, you send something to the bottom, as long as it has 6k or less, and then unsuspend this Digimon once per turn when you attack. So, you know, turn 2, you can actually swing with XVmon, hard play something. If you already had, if you got the memory, you can DNA and just go ahead and just start swinging and chip away like 3 life in that turn. Next, we have 2 of the new Imperialdramon. I only play 2 of this because this is really only for passing turn, and I don't expect my turn to come back for, you know, if I do gain a memory, etc. off of the Vmon. This is really just a better card to end on your opponent's turn with than this one, because this is more aggro, where you want to DNA and it's still continue to be your turn. This one, it's fine if it ends up on your opponent's turn because you trash 3 sources and then 2 of all of your opponent's Digimon, and then 2 Digimon without any Digivolution cards can't attack, so you basically stun. Our meta right now is a lot of Hunter and Beelzemon, so with Rookie Rush or Hunter, this is a really good counter, because if you're playing against Beelzemon, they swarm the field with a bunch of Entmons. 2 of those Entmons can't attack, just a suicide to, you know, die on deletion, trash, whatever. Can't do it. And then if you are going against Hunter, where you trash their sources, it goes straight into the trash. They can't save it. So this is a really good card. And then, of course, it does have a extra effect where, you know, end of attack, gain a memory. Now, this isn't a once per turn as well, so if you are playing like the old fighter mode, you could gain like 2 memory, or if you evolve in the dragon mode, swing, gain a memory off of that, then evolve into the fighter mode, unsuspend off of Ken and Davis, where then you can swing twice, you could gain a bunch of memory, where it's just an option. We're not doing it for that, but it's still there, so you do still gain a memory. Of course, I'm playing 3 of the old dragon mode. I still think this is the better dragon mode, where you basically set up your next DNA Digivolution. It's not the most aggro card in of itself, but it does set up where we can basically play another Imperialdramon, which is the more aggressive card. I am playing 2 fighter mode. This thing basically has a Gigadeath built in to its when Digivolving effect. So it's still a Digivolve 2 from Dragon mode. You can still evolve it from your level 5s, but you really do want it to do it off of the Dragon mode. Unless absolutely necessary, where like if you are being swarmed and you did get this off where you trashed a bunch of sources, then you know what, just go ahead and do this. If you don't have the Dragon mode, just to suspend all of your opponent's Digimon with no Digivolution cards. Then return one of your opponents suspended to its hand. By returning 1 Dragon mode, however, from this Digimon's Digivolution to your hand, so you basically recycles the Dragon mode, place all of your opponent's suspended Digimon at the bottom of their deck instead, right? So that's really good for clearing the board. Like I said, it's got the built-in Gigadeath, but then it's also got the all turns effect. Gets 1,000 for each color in its Digivolution card, which is basically 2, so it's always going to be a 15. And then if it has 2 or more colors against a carrier +1 and blocker, you know, it's nice, really in there for the clear effect. Next, we play 3 Davis. We all know what it does. You need to set yourself to 3. That's actually really important. That's still really important, especially, you know, against any deck that try to memory control you. You really do need to set yourself to 3. Otherwise, you're just going to evolve and pass, because none of our stuff are cheap evolution. Like, we have 2 cost evolutions, and then in some cases where your opponent has something out where you don't want to move it out, you will have to like hard evolve in the back in your breeding area, so it's safe. So we will, you know, definitely don't want to just pass over our opponent's turn with 4. So you definitely need your set your memory to 3. 2, Davis, and Ken. Like I said, Davis, Motomiya, and Ken Joji are fully spelled out, so it can be searched off of the Wormmon and Vmon. Really great, and another reason why I play Lydramon is because if I have Lydramon in the back, move it up while I still have this, I'm going to gain 2 memory, so I can start my turn with 5 if I have, this out. If I don't, then, this will set me to at least 3. 3 blue memory boosts, just because I really do need, sometimes I really do need it to be evolved on my turn, so I can, the option to evolve at the end of my turn is nice, but I really do prefer 2 DNA on and it still be my turn, so I can go for an aggressive attack for a game. So 3 blue memory boosts and, still searching. 1 hidden potential discover. This card is still super busted. You swing with your Imperialdramon once, it unsuspends, tap, play this since it is a green, then you evolve into your dragon mode for free, and you evolve into your dragon mode, which sets up a new Imperialdramon, which gives you 2 more attacks, which is just amazing. And then of course we got our 3 Megadeaths. So 3 Megadeath, and you do still got to play this, because if you're falling behind, your opponent's got something really big set up, you really need some kind of removal. And then plus with the fact that Quartzmon is out now, you really do need something that can remove that Quartzmon. So a couple things I wanted to talk about are some of these newer cards that you could play as well. So you could play the new Dragon mode. I don't feel it's as good. So when Digivolving, if it has a blue, you can unsuspend this, and if it has a green, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. So, it's nice. It's a 3, so your turn wouldn't pass over. But even without this effect, its main thing is the end of attack, where it can Digivolve into an Imperialdramon. So it could also evolve into the other Dragon mode, because it just says Imperialdramon in its name, and then you reduce the cost by 2, so you could get multiple cards out that way, but there's really no point in doing it that way. It's really meant to go into the fighter mode, and then that's why it's unsuspended, so that you can actually use the fighter mode as a blocker if need be. So the new Stingmon, like I said, it basically gives piercing. Not necessary. I don't like attacking into their Digimon. I rather just swing at security and just go for, since I have the jamming, so I rather just swing into security. Sometimes they have stuff that's too big on the field anyway, so I really don't care about the piercing. Its best part is really, if I was to hard play this, pass into my opponent's turn and then bring it back for the memory. But if I did bring it back, it would still be a full 3 cost, which is why I rather just hard play the other one for 3, and then have the draw effect instead. Quartzmon, I was trying this out. I really do like it, because you play Dragon mode, or the first Dragon mode, you can spam your board and make it really big as well. So you have a bunch of suspended, and then when attacking, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon and Tamers, then trash the top card of your opponent's security attack for every 5 suspended Digimon and or Tamers. This is for the field. So when you have, I spam my board with a bunch of stuff, and I can DNA. It's DNAing unsuspended, so I would be able to control my opponent's field. Meanwhile, they can't really do anything about mine, because I can still play it, DNA it, and then, or I can leave them out where they're basically account for the 5, and then start trashing and just slowly chip away at Quartzmon. I really do like this. I really want to find room. I might have to take out some champions, or either that or cut out the fighter mode, because the fighter mode's okay. That built-in Giga Death is the only reason it's really still in the deck. Dino Beamon, where this one is, if you end up on your opponent's turn, it can still attack, so it can still take out something. If I was playing this Dino Beamon, that Stingmon would make sense, because it is for attacking the Digimon, so that piercing is great. And then it does have a better inherit effect, where basically if it deletes an opponent's Digimon in battle, trash the top card of your opponent's security stack. So this version would be more controlling the board, where I'm attacking the Digimon that they have out instead, and then start, chipping away that way. But I don't like to rely on what my opponent has out on board. So like if they don't have a Digimon out on board, these effects do nothing. So which is why I rather just stick to hey, I just want to swing away as security, which is why I play all the Imperialdramons. Next, we have the 2 new option cards, V Laser and Spiking Strike. Really, the only one that's really playable is the Spiking Strike, where it's really weird that they are the green and blue, but they play the other color. So if you have a blue Digimon in play, you play a green. But if you have a green Digimon, you play a blue, even though you need to already have a blue out on the field to, you know, play this option, or a green out on the field to play this option. But basically, trash top 3 of your opponent's Digivolution cards of your opponent's Digimon. Not terrible, but I rather, you know, play this one if that was the case, where on deletion, give one of my opponent's Digimon on deletion, trash top card of your opponent's security stack. Again, I don't like swinging at their Digimon, and I really don't like relying on these. And because it is still a 3 cost, your new stuff are 4s, and if I was to play them and DNA, it would basically be 3 costs as well. But if I was to play the new stuff off of these, then gaining the memory would essentially mean I only pay 2, so I would have gotten the bonus effect. But I really don't want to rely on having so many of these in my hand, or play too many. One, I don't want to play too many of these, and then I really don't want to wait to get these pieces in hand to start doing stuff, which is why I don't play these at all. And plus, the deck is already pretty crowded as is. For like regionals and stuff, I might have to actually toss in some Death X's, you know, against the current meta matchups. So yeah, this deck is already pretty tight as is. Otherwise, I would definitely for sure have, you know, 2 Quartzmon, etc. in the deck. But thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts. Thank you. Bye.